Hey guys, it is me again. Got to say this before I forget it. Today is Wednesday, January the 2nd. That makes it day 2 on our Daily Bread Project 2013. Again, guys, I've not printed out a Julian calendar for 2013 yet. I'm out of printer paper, and I cannot think for the life of me to go get any. So maybe tomorrow I can remember it. Maybe on my way home from working out, I'll stop at the dollar store because I'd much rather stop at the dollar store than Walmart and get some. So, anyway, guys, it is good to be here tonight. Hope y'all are doing all right. My neck's kind of bothering me, guys, and hurting me. I have a bad habit of falling asleep in this chair. Sometimes I'll be in here, watching TV, fooling with the computer, and it gets kind of late, and I'll get kind of, good and warm, from been out in the cold today. Got cold today, never could hardly get warmed up. Get in here and get warm, and I'll start falling asleep, and I'll start nodding off. And I don't know if it does stretches a nerve or something in my neck, but like when my head tries to fall over, and usually it'll wake me up. But it kind of makes my neck hurt, and I've noticed that when I do that a lot, then it'll make my middle finger over here hurt. So I don't know if I think it's stretching a nerve or something. So I need to quit doing it, to be honest about it. I know it's not good for me, but anyway, guys, like I said, it is good to be here tonight. Hope everybody's doing all right. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I had any real jibber jabber. I just want to thank everybody that's been praying for us, and I want to thank everybody that's prayed about that car, that Kia. You actually got it pretty much finished up today. We actually got it running and got the exhaust back on it, changed the oil in it, and have been driving it today. And the boy first started it up this morning, and he started it before I got there. Got some crumbs, guys, of my cherry cordial that I've been eating, trying to think of the name of it. Anyway, he said once he got the exhaust back on and he could hear it run, he said for the first few minutes that it was sitting there idling, he said he could hear just the faintest little tick up in the top end of the motor. He said, but once it sat there and idled for a few minutes, that went away. So I figured what it was is this head had new cams in it, and you could tell that the surface of the cams were kind of, I'm not going to say rough, but they weren't a real highly polished finish like cams get once they break in. So I told him, he was asking me what that could have been. I said it was probably the cams breaking in. Actually the cams kind of getting their little slick surface wore on them, because on these modern overhead cam cars, especially the foreign cars, they don't run any lifters or anything. They just run the cam comes straight over. They use what they call a shim over bucket set up. The camshaft lobe comes straight over, and they've got a bucket sitting there with a little adjuster inside of it that actually adjusts the valve clearance. And the camshaft comes straight over, hits the bucket, opens the valve, and then keeps on rotating. On a lot of American cars, they'll use like I don't like to call it a lifter because it's really not a lifter. Some companies call them lash adjusters, but they run like on the other side. They run like a little follower under the cam, and it kind of sits there and pivots, and it'll have rollers on it, which in my opinion is probably, you waste a little bit of energy moving a fulcrum type lever, but because you've got rollers on both end of it, I think that's a pretty good setup. You would think just that camshaft lobe just hitting that valve directly right on top of it on that bucket, you think that would kind of be hard on stuff, but that's the way motorcycles are set up. These 4-cylinder crotch rocket engines that turn 12, 14, 15, 16,000 RPM are set up like that. So evidently it works good. Evidently where you don't have all that mass in there, it works good. But anyway, I'm rattling on, guys. But as far as I know, the car's, we've drove it. The car's running good and cool. Sounds good. Good oil pressure. No lights on. So we're going to drive it tomorrow too, and kind of make sure that everything's all right, and then call the people. So just keep praying for that, guys. What else? Praise the Lord, my Snap-on man was leaning on me today, like I told you all. I did sell my AK last night, guys, but You know, I've got so much to do with it. I still couldn't afford to give my Snap-on man really what he needed to be paid, what I'm supposed to pay him every week. So I told him, I said, here, have mercy on me. I had 110 bucks is what I give him. And he looked and he said, well, you're still $100 and some to the paid ahead on your scanner account where I've got my scanner financed through Snap-on Credit. He said, I just won't pay a payment on it this week because you're to the good, and you know you can miss actually a couple payments. So he said, we'll just take all your money and put it on the truck account if that's okay with you. I said, that sounds good to me. You know, I just don't want you to be mad. So that worked out. So praise the Lord for that. Mom actually, my aunt got her check, her Social Security or whatever she draws check today or yesterday one, and Mom let me have a little money out of that check. You know, Mom said I can, you know, she said how much, because I was talking about really not being able to pay my credit card payments this month, and you know, Mom said, how much do you need? I said, well, to pay the minimum payments, which I mean that's all I can ask to do right now is $65. So anyway, Mom took care of that for me. So you know, everything's kind of worked out. To be honest, guys, I'm trying to save enough of this AK money where I sold my AK. I'd like to be able to give like $200 or $250 at church Sunday. That way we can get enough money in there, you know, to pay the mortgage payment. You know, because you know it's getting down to the wire. We're not a month behind yet, but once you start getting close to a month behind, they really start getting upset at the bank. So everybody just keep praying for that too. What else? Ordered some stuff from Grizzly, guys, and ordered a little machinist. If any of you guys know, number one, where I can get a machinist handbook at for a pretty good price, let me know. Now, I ordered what I thought was the machinist handbook from Grizzly. I thought it was just a paperback, cheaper version of it. Well, I didn't look at the fine print. This is actually a machinist handbook guide. It's just a guide that actually kind of shows you how to use the handbook. Because the machinist handbook at most places is like 60, 70, 80 bucks. So anyway, I ordered that, and I ordered a new cutoff tool for my lathe, the parting tool. I get the package in, there's no parting tool in it. So I figured, well, they've had to send it from another warehouse. So now I've been sitting here waiting 2 or 3 days for it to come. It never has came. I finally called Grizzly, and I said, listen, is this on a different order or what? Oh, no, it was shipped in the same box, according to our records. I said, well, it didn't come in the same box. It was not there. So anyway, the guy said, we'll go look at go find the box if you can still find it. It may be stuck to it or something. I'm like, dude, that thing's like 4.5 inches long. It's made out of steel. I don't think I'd have missed it the first time, but I'll go look. So I looked in the box, and in the bottom of the box under one of the flaps, it wasn't there. But they had tape around the bottom of the box, but they only taped it through the center. So over on one side, you could actually take your fingers and go bloop and stick right out the bottom of the box. So that's what I told the guy from Grizzly. I called him back. I said, dude, it's fell out the bottom of the box on the UPS truck. So I don't know. He said he wrote it all up, and he said a supervisor's got to approve it. He said, which he will. And he said, then we'll get you a free one sent out. So that's kind of irksome, but you know, stuff like that happens. Right here's kind of what I'm working on right now, guys. Reloading. I just wanted to show y'all a bunch of stuff while I had a little time. This is a 223 Remington. You know, it's the same. This is what AR-15 shoots. You know, the devil gun, what everybody's carpet on them now. Or, you know, a lot of hunting rifles for varmint stuff. You know, that's 223 Remington. 5.56 NATO, same size. Well, anyway, right here, this shoots a 223 bullet, same size bullet, but look how much bigger your case is. Look how much bigger cartridge. Look how much more powder. This one holds 25 grains of powder, 26. This one holds like 41 to 45, so it's almost double the powder. This is called a 223 Winchester Super Short Magnum. This, guys, and that's the reason I wanted to show you this. I thought this was interesting. This is the fastest shooting production cartridge that me or you, that a regular person can buy off the shelf. It is. It's the fastest shooting gun, pretty much fastest shooting production gun in the world. Fastest bullet. 22 250 is slower. 220 Swift is slower. 204 Ruger is slower. That's a shooting bullet in the world right there. You can make these shoot pretty easily over 5,000 feet per second. But anyway, I've got some cases here, as you can see. One that's been shot. When I bought my gun, these bullets actually came with it. This one already been shot, and I've actually finally got my dies in, and I've starting the reloading process on it. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you all that. I thought that was pretty neat. Something else I just want to talk about real quick before I get on to it. Darren, if you see this, I seen your video and where you were talking about going to church and everything with your mom and them when you were a kid, and kind of you know, that kind of deal, getting not liking it and all that. And I can understand where you're coming from. I didn't really do that. You know, my mom and dad, same deal. They always took me to church and stuff. And I think all of us, is, you know, when we get to that age, you know, I was a good kid and did everything right. I mean, you know, kind of followed like I should have been when I was younger. But when I got 18, 19, you know how most of us do, you kind of get sidetracked and wild and out there. And you kind of, in my thing, I knew right from wrong. I just really kind of didn't care. You know, at the moment, I think that's the way you are when you're that age a lot of times. But anyway, what I'm getting at, number one, I like the way you were talking about, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, brother, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but you're actually right. When you were talking about people, you know, about everybody being religious, and that's kind of one of the things. Sometimes we let the religion go to, you know, we pay too much attention to the religion, and we don't pay attention to our relationship, you know. But anyway, my aunt, my mom's sister, she, you know, my grandpa was a Pentecostal preacher. Started the church that my mom and all of the church that I went to when I was smaller. He wasn't the pastor there anymore. He was the pastor, I think Mom said, from 1959 to 1983 or something like that, 1984. But my mom's sister, they used to have, you know, guest preachers and stuff come in, and there was a preacher come in. Mom said everybody called him the graveyard preacher, and he was one of these guys that, man, he really preached the hellfire damnation. I mean, I think you need to tell people that. I think you need to preach the whole gospel, but I think you need to do it the right way, and you need to do it lovingly, and he didn't, from what I heard. And anyway, my aunt got scared. I mean, it literally scared her, and even to this day, she's 70 years old, my aunt is, and what I'm talking about. She won't have anything to do with church. It just, you know, it's like it scarred her. Of course, she always talks about how scared it made her and stuff, and that's the one thing Mom always says to her. Mom says, listen, if that scared you that much about dying and heaven and hell, and that's what she said, Mom said, you would think it would have done the other way, though. I mean, if I was that scared, Mom said, I would run towards the light. I would run towards the thing that was going to get me out of going to hell. I wouldn't reject it like you do, but you know, sometimes that happens. And brother, I'm just glad that, you know, like you said, it took you that day, you know, when that wheel blew up on you, and you know, in that garage, it took you to that day right there to meet God, and that's great. You know, that's the thing, and that's the thing. There's going to be a whole lot of people that sit on church pews every Sunday of their life that still don't make it into heaven, because just going to church and being in that church, you know, that doesn't make you a Christian. That doesn't save you. You know, and that's like you said, you went to church your whole younger life, and but it took that day that happened to you to meet God. So anyway, I'm just glad that it did, brother. So anyway, guys, getting on to the important thing tonight. I'll be rambling. 1 John chapter 3, verse 16. Here we go. By this we know love, that he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for our brothers. But if anyone has the world's goods and sees his brother in need, yet closes his heart against him, how does God's love abide in him? And I'm glad this mentions this, guys. I'm not going to lie, I get aggravated so much. Seems like every time the church needs, I don't have it. Seems like every time we have somebody, you know, I've had a couple instances of people that really didn't have anything come to my church for help. And I mean, we did help what we could. You know, we bought them food and we did that kind of deal. But I've had people come to my church needing money, and us not have any. I mean, literally, the church be, I go to the secretary, well, how are we doing on money, God? $62 in the hole. That always irks me when it seems like every time I get somebody that needs something from the church, we don't have it. And I'm glad that this mentions this, because it says if you have the goods and you see somebody in need and you close your heart against them, how does God's love abide in them? I'm glad it mentions this, guys, because this tells me that, you know what, God knows that sometimes when people need, you're not going to be able to help them. You're not going to have the means to help them. Sometimes. That's just the truth. Now, I think we need to try to do everything we can and try to make ways. Like I said, when this one woman come to the church once needing food and stuff, we didn't have a dime. I mean, the church was in a negative balance. But I spread it out to everybody, and I said, you know, if we can pitch in $5-10 a piece to get this woman some food, let's do it. You know, and we did. We got her all kinds of food, and you know, and I think we did what God wanted us to do. But, you know, if we have the need, we need to do it. Verse 18, little children, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and truth. So let's just not say it, let's do it, basically is what he's saying here. By this we shall know that we are the truth, and reassure our heart before him. For whenever our heart condemns us, God is greater than our heart, and he knows everything. Beloved, if our heart does not condemn us, we have confidence before God. And whatever we ask, we receive from him, because we keep his commandments and do what pleases him. And this is his commandment, that we believe in the name of his Son, Jesus Christ, and love one another, just as he commanded us. Whosoever keeps his commandments abides in God, and God in him. And by this we know that he abides in us, by the Spirit whom he has given us. Amen. Guys, like I said, just keep praying for us. Keep praying for the church. Guys, I think we had 17 people there Sunday, something like that. 17 or 18, which for this time of year is good. I think we had 17 or 18 people Monday night at our thing. Guys, we've been having good church services. The Spirit was there Sunday like I have seldom felt it in my life. But the devil attacked us all day long. He attacked our sound system. He started, well, I think I told you guys this. Guys, the devil has attacked us ever since then. What I'm trying to get at, guys, I know that we're getting her to God's getting her to bless our church. He's going to do something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's through this clothing giveaway we're trying to get together. I don't know what it's through. But the devil is attacking us, because that's when he attacks, when he knows that you're doing something that's going to hurt him. So keep praying for us, guys. Keep praying for the church. Keep praying for our business, guys. It's been better this week. I think we've already brought in as much money this week as we did last. To be honest, I mean, I'm not being doubtful, but I still probably won't get to draw payday this week. It's not been that good, but you never know. You know, the Lord could do whatever blessings he needs to do tomorrow and Friday. So just keep praying for that, guys. Pray that we'll sell that Ram Charger and my bike. That'll help us out. That'll let me bless the church more. So just keep praying for these things, guys. If y'all need anything, let me know. Good Lord willing, I'll be here tomorrow night, guys, until I see you all again. Good night, and God bless.